So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Calvin Conyers. I'm the Associate Dean of Admissions and Recruitment here at Benjamin Franklin Steel Technology. And I want to welcome you all to our automotive information session. We have our program chair, Professor Jim Dullett, who will be talking to you about the program, giving you a better understanding of what you'll be learning about once you come here in the fall, and then talk about some of the outcomes, what to expect after you graduate and some of the job opportunities within, coming to Benjamin Franklin and learning from our esteemed faculty. So without further ado, I would like to pass the mic to the department chair, Jim Dullett, who will talk to you a little bit more about our automotive program.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm glad that I can do this with you. Very excited for the next year. The automotive program, we've been around. We're one of the longest programs at the school, and been around since not quite, just shortly after cars came along. That's when we came along. Great institution. I'm a graduate a long time ago, so I'm a firm believer in what we do. And just to give you an idea, we have two paths that you can take. You can do an associate's degree, which of course we always recommend, and you can do a certificate, which is shorter because you're not doing the gen ed classes. The outcomes, are up to you. If you want to be, a gung-ho student and learn a lot, you're going to be doing the same thing in your career. You can make a lot of money. And, I recently had a former student who I met out for dinner last week. And he worked, I won't say what company, it was a big chain. And he said his best year, he made $155,000. Plus he was doing side work. So between his side work and his work there, he was doing over $200,000 a year. Now, is that everybody? No. He's the exception. There are troubleshooters who make that all day long. If you can be an automotive troubleshooter, diagnostician, you can do that all day long. And that's really your sky's the limit. You start your own business, you can make as much as you want. But for the beginning, to get through this, your automotive program, you're going to take, brake systems, engines, electricity, electrical. Then the next semester, you'll have, automotive electrical systems, chassis and suspensions, air conditioning, engine performance. As along with, if you do the associates, you're going to have your college composition course and your technical math, introductory to safety. So I don't have to read these to you. You can look in our brochure and see all these courses that are offered. But if it's something that you like, if it's something that, you feel comfortable with, enrolling in this program, we will provide you the opportunity to walk out of here with some serious knowledge about the automobiles and get a good job. And that's the bottom line. We're very well equipped to provide you the tools, the hands, the mind, and actually the tools. You do get tools to go out and make a living, and a good living. So I'm gonna babble. So to prevent that, I'm just going to ask you, what do you need to know? All right, everybody's killing
Jim,
me.
Jim, can you talk about the hands-on component?
Sure. So every course has a lab associated with it. So you work in the theory end of it, and then you go and practice that in a lab. So all of our courses have labs. And then in your sophomore year, or your third semester of, if you're in the certificate, you'll do a garage. Garage is a live garage. We do customer work. So it's just like you're going to be, if you were working in a dealership. Cars are going to come in. You have to take the repair order, figure out what's wrong with it, repair it, test it, and give it back to the customer. So you go from working on, projects that don't have to go anywhere, because we're not going to unleash you on customers yet in the beginning, and you'll do work on cars that don't have to leave that day, and you're going to work your way up through all those different labs. I teach in the drivability lab, so you'll work on the cars in the drivability lab. You'll work cars in the chassis and brakes lab, air conditioning. After you go through all those labs, then just before you leave, we're going to give you your garage time, which is same as working in a garage. You're going to get that extensive experience on working on customer cars. And it's unlike most places. Not everybody does this. It's a rare piece that we have a live garage. So it's pretty special. Did I address your needs there? Okay.
I'm going to actually show, we're going to share my screen and show the garage. We have a video of it.
So that's our brakes and chassis lab. This is our engines lab. We pull apart engines. And the first picture you saw was the live garage. So we have a pretty extensive setup. We were just given a grant, so we have a lot of new equipment coming in, so we're very excited.
What type of questions do you all have regarding the program, admissions, the outcomes, anything? This is the opportunity for you to get just a little bit more clarity on any type of questions you may have about the program. And no questions are silly questions.
I meant to ask, does most people going to school have like a certificate already from like a high school that offers like an automotive program already?
You want to take that? You want me to take it?
You
We don't. You would have, if you go to a vocational training program somewhere, a Chapter 74 program, you might have something, but it's not going to be the same as what we do. We're a little more in depth, much longer hours, more hours are dedicated to it. So, and if you have that, it just you're really coming to the table with the ability to accelerate. The more background you have, I think the quicker you adapt to your surroundings.
To add on to that, I'm sorry, to add on to that, we teach from the ground up, so if you're asking whether or not you have to come in knowing a certain level, obviously the more the easier and the more, the quicker it will be to adapt to what you're being taught. But we do have students that come in with, less skills than others.
Okay.
Good question.
There's a question about the days of the week, the class, like the offering.
Well, we'll run anywhere from 4 to 5 days a week, depending on how your schedule gets set up, and that's above my pay grade. They'll just look at what courses you have to take, and they'll plug it into their program, and that's how you're scheduled. But typically, you're scheduled 4 or 5 days a week. Typically, some days you might start at 8, sometimes you might start at 10. Occasionally, you might start at 12, but typically it's before that. And most of the time, depending on the class, you're out of there by 3. On a late day, it might be 4, but a lot of students, manage to wangle their way out so that they can go work a part-time job somewhere.
We do
I have a
offer.
question.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm one of the parents. Do you guys have parking on site?
No, there's no parking. There's street parking.
Okay.
I had the same thing when I was there, the street parking. Nothing's changed in a long time.
But we have easy access to public transportation. Student can take buses, T's to come to campus.
Yeah, we're about a 7-minute walk from South Bay. Back Bay, I'm sorry, Back Bay.
Yeah.
So we do offer day and night courses. So we have for the certificate program, we offer a day certificate program that runs between the hours of 8 and 3. And my son is having a hissy fit right now. So if you hear him yelling, that is him in the back. And then we have a night program that typically runs between 4 p.m. and about 10 p.m. And those run between Monday and Thursday. Now for the associate degree program, that's a day program. So you're looking at potentially the hours of, 8 to 3, 8 to 4-ish, Monday through Thursday. Could have some Friday courses.
And there's a
Go ahead.
question in the chat says whether the campus is being moved to New Bean Square. Right now, the plan is we are moving there in the fall 2024.
Correct.
Campus is being.
And so you'll have graduated by then. You won't get to enjoy the new building.
Or maybe they will do auto management.
Right. Do that 4-year program, I hope.
Yep.
Is everybody familiar what kind of jobs you can get? I mean, it's not just automotive. We provide you with the opportunity to have a skill set that, transfers to a lot of different programs. You can work for the T, you can work for Amtrak. We have people going to, work on police cars. We have another gentleman that, visits us periodically to find students. And he has a company where he gives you a truck and says, go repair lifts on the back of lift trucks. And you just drive around repairing lifts on the back of lift trucks. So it's a transferable skill set. It's not just directly automotive. It can be automotive related or truck related or train related. We have quite a few students at Amtrak. And well, not as many as Amtrak. The T has more than Amtrak. We do have a couple of Amtrak. The T pays very well.
Yes, I think one of the things that separates our program from most other programs is the fact that you'll be able to work on all brands. A lot of schools, they make you focus in on, Mercedes, or you have to focus in on a domestic or, foreign car. We work with everything, hybrids, electric, foreign, domestic cars. There's not just one brand that we focus in on. I think that gives you much more marketability compared to a lot of other programs that just focus in on, one brand. So if you get another car that's outside of that brand, you're like, oh, I've never seen that engine before. You're going to see multiple engines with our curriculum. I think that that's something that really separates us from a lot of the other schools that may offer the program.
What you will find is that we talk with our employers, those who employ our students, and we have meetings with them. They tell us what they need, and that's what we focus on. And we've recently been in conversation that they want people with the, whether it be associates or bachelors or in some case certificates, and then they will send them out for additional training. So they want the basics from us and, providing it to you, and then they'll send you out in some cases for 18 months and pay you for that training. We have one program where they'll pay you $25 an hour and put you up while you're training. So it's a pretty good deal. I saw a couple of questions and then they disappeared.
Yep.
Does
So
anybody have those?
I have one. What do I need to select the program I want to and pay for it? Can we look up Nathan? And we'll private message you, Nathan, with what you need.
Yeah, that can happen for Evans and Macy's as well. I'm his mom.
Which one?
Evans Macy's.
Evans Macy's. You got that, man?
Yep.
And then Nathan. Then the other question, what exactly are they work? Okay. So the first day of classes, some of you may have heard about the tools, the toolboxes, and what should you expect on the first day of classes. That is an expense that's added to your bill. So you can add that to when you're paying your tuition bill or your student bill. That will all be included with that. I believe, Jim, if you want to talk about how you all order that and how that all comes in
Right.
together.
So it usually takes, it'll be about 4 weeks before you actually receive your tool sets. They're from Snap-on, which is top of the line. As you know, if you've been in the business or seen anybody in the business, they all have stickers on their cars and hats and everything else. Snap-on tools it's the Rolls Royce of tools for the automotive world. You get a 50% discount, so you're not paying retail. So we do have an arrangement with them that if you need additional tools as well, up until the time you graduate, that you can get this discount. It's such a deep discount that even the guys in the trucks that sell off the trucks, when you see a Snap-on truck drive by, they don't get this deal. We get a better deal than the Snap-on dealers. So it's unbelievable. So I have students that come back all the time. Hey, can I order some tools? Because they go on the truck and they get sticker shock from the truck because they're so used to our prices. But you get first year set and then a second year set if you're in an associate's program, and it's enough to put you out in the work world and give you quite a heads up over a lot of other people that are walking out. Tool days like Christmas.
Those tools are yours to keep. Once you
graduate, they go out the door with you. I spent all last week helping students load up cars of their tools, trucks, cars, anything they could fit them in to get them out of there.
So they want to talk about the live garage. Someone just wrote in the chat.
Yep. So so we have in live garage. You just have to schedule it with the instructor, and you can work on your own cars. We do that all the time. Until you're in live garage, it's difficult because that's a program that the students that are already in there are scheduling their own cars as well as customer cars. And you can't do it in labs. The labs are just really not set up for customer work. But once you're in Lab Garage, you talk to the instructor and you can schedule it. And they actually love doing that because you have much more interest when you're working on your own car. You learn a lot.
Do we receive like textbooks, workbooks, like right when we start too? That's included when you pay?
Pay component, I'll let you talk about.
I think it's $600.
Calvin, you got that?
So there is so your books are separate. Your books they're not included with your tuition. So when you receive your financial aid award letter, there will be a section that talks about your indirect costs. That is just some costs that you want to take in consideration as additional expense, including your bill. I want to say they range between they could be up to $1,000 for a semester or so. But that's on the higher end. So that's just something that you should look to potentially have aside for the semester.
In the automotive program, all the automotive instructors use one book. So you have one book for 2 years. So it's a one-time expense. It's also got an e-copy, so you don't have to lug around a very heavy book, but it'll have all the subjects in it and every instructor uses it. So with the exception of your gen eds, for the most part, we're using it's called CDX. And you'll have that book for 2 years.
Thank you.
Jim, can you talk about homework?
So homework, everybody loves homework. So homework is always something, in the book, there'll be little tests at the end of each chapter. You do the test. Different instructors require different types of homework. The biggest thing is that you have to do labs. So a lab is, we will show you how to do a particular job, and then we'll give you a lab sheet, which basically instructs you how to do that lab, and then you do it yourself. It's to learn how to, if you're doing a brake job, here's the lab sheet. Do this, 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 and then you fill it out, and you type it up. So if you have, in a week, if you have 2 labs or 3 labs that require you to, do a procedure, you have to write about that procedure. So that's, it reinforces. First off, you have to identify how you did it, what tools you used, and what the procedures were. You write about that, and then you come to a conclusion. So it's, it's not, you're not writing dissertations every week, but you do have to record what you've done.
Any other questions?
Hi, I have a question. My name is Talia Hawkins. I know you said that the classes are from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but I work at 2 p.m., so I was wondering if they would let me leave early, or if that's possible.
A lot of it is based on your schedule, and I don't know if they can, how that would work, because at some point, even if you got 1 or 2 classes arranged, I don't know if you can get all the classes arranged so that you could be out of there every day at that time. That's a scheduling issue that our scheduler would have to look at.
Yeah, when you once you meet with your advisor, you let your advisor know that, and then they would see what would be your best option. It might be part-time. It might be, they have to look at your schedule and figure out what would be the best option for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any type of like dress code, or do we get uniforms for when we're doing like the labs or just the classroom?
Everyone needs to wear a suit and tie. No. She's like, wait, what?
You got me. Good.
In garage, you have a shirt that we'll give you a B-fit shirt, and you can wear the pants of your choice. We do require that you wear work boots, and that you have safety glasses, which we'll even provide as part of your tool package. You get safety glasses in that. And then it's just dress appropriately. If you've been around any garages, anything dangling, no jewelry, no strings on hoodies, hair, anything that can get caught in moving parts would be very bad.
Yeah, of course.
So we dress appropriately.
Okay.
But there's no uniform.
Thank you.
Any other questions, folks? You guys had a lot of good questions.
I have a question about industry partners, and just kind of wanted to know a little more information about how that works.
Yeah, sure. We have a great development team that we have new industry partners coming on almost every day. We just teamed up with Group One, which is IRA, the IRA Group, formerly Prime, and so they're offering us some partnership concepts where we might be able to do some internships through them. So we might be able to place some students in internships. Then we have other organizations that we work with. Same thing, internships. They work some part-time hours for you to give you a part-time job until you graduate. Then they offer to pick you up afterwards, providing that you do the work they like.
Okay, that's actually really interesting. Okay. And also wanted to know if you're doing, like, for example, somebody doing the certificate program as opposed to the associates, how far into the program would you need to be in order to attend like the job fairs and industry partner type of events and things of that sort?
Calvin, I'll let you take that one.
Yep. We have so we have those every spring. We have a big major career fair. We had one 3 weeks ago. We had over 60 employers here on campus that were looking to hire our students. So you would be well prepared for that. It is for our certificate, our associate, as well as our bachelor's degree program. So you won't. There is no limitation to that. I think there was another question in the chat. I hope did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, that clears up a lot of confusion. Thank you.
Okay. There was a question about do you take academic classes or is it strictly auto tech? There's two pathways that we have. A lot of our students are going into our associate degree program because a lot of students want a degree. And then we have some students that say, you know what, I'm just trying to get a certificate. I'm trying to get certified. I'm trying to go directly into the industry. And those students are typically going into our certificate program. So our certificate program, there are no general educational courses like the English and the math. It's strictly the hands-on auto tech courses. If you decide to come back that second year, you would take some more automotive courses to dive a little bit deeper into the automotive field, along with the English and math courses that is required for a degree. So like I said, we are seeing a lot of our students tend to gear toward the associate degree, but we do have a population that is saying, you know what, I need something short, quick, to the point, and I'm trying to get into the industry, which are, the students that are going toward the certificate. So I hope I answered that question. I think it was Hassan. Perfect. Any other questions? Rich, you have any questions? I know you was tuned in early.
I'm good. Thank you.
Richard.
I was just wondering, what was the schedule for the night classes again?
The night classes typically run from about 4 till 9:30, 10-ish, Monday through Thursday. Jim, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was
typically, depending on the day. Sometimes you might start at 3, but they try to start at 4 so you can get out of work and get over there. And sometimes, they're out at 9. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 that get out at 10.
All right, yeah, that works. Because I work at 3 till 3 at Valvoline, so I wanted to make sure I would have time to actually get over it.
Yeah, you would. We have a lot of students in the same boat. You're trying to keep food on the table while still going to school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So there's a question about registration. For those of you that are accepted and have submitted your FAFSAs, you will have one of our admissions counselors reaching out to you so we can make sure we get your immunization form. So once we receive your immunization form, your success coach will be reaching out to you to register you for classes. So we did start registration. Registration open this week for new students. So you will be hearing from either our admissions counselor, followed up by your success coach within the next week. To let you know exactly where you stand. But the most important thing is to make sure that you complete your FAFSA. And if you can start to work on getting us your immunization form, those are the two things we need in order for us to register you for classes. For those of you who haven't applied or haven't been accepted yet, I believe Jenny posted the application link in the chat. Feel free to apply. The only thing we need is just your high school transcript or your GED or high SET transcript if you received one of those credentials. There was a question that just popped up.
Yeah.
I have to email pictures of my immunization to the admissions. Correct. What are the schools that the credits we get can transfer to? If we want to do a 2-year. So who was asking that question? Were you looking to continue to go into a bachelor degree program? I'm not too sure about the question that Martha was asking.
So I just wanted to know that, like, if I wanted to do my 2 years here and then transfer to like another school, what are the schools that those credits could possibly transfer to?
Well, it all depends on what you plan on studying. If you get your associate degree at Benjamin Franklin, your gen ed courses that you'll be taking your second year will more than likely be the courses that you'll be transferring in, no matter what program you decide to go into. If there's a bachelor degree program that you're looking to transfer in, we just have to see what classes that you took with us that will be transferable to their bachelor degree program. I'm not too sure whether or not there are other bachelor degree automotive programs. Jim, you can't correct me if I'm wrong. I thought we were one of the only ones.
Yes, we are. And when I graduated BFIT, I went to Fitchburg. And they, besides the gen ed classes, they gave me, I think they gave me 16 credits of independent. Basically, they just said it's we're going to find a spot to put these 16 credits. So you got the gen ed plus 16. You're much better off, of course, if you stay right at Franklin, because you get full credit for everything if you roll into any of our programs.
Any other questions?
So just to clarify, because I had missed a part. In order to register for classes, you said you need an immunization form, your transcript or HiSET, and what else?
That's all. We just need have you been accepted?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you already applied or?
Yeah, so I've applied. I'm on step 2, or actually no, I'm on step 3. Just have to have my school send my transcript over.
Okay, yep. So once they send the transcript over, we can make a decision. And then from there, we'll just need your immunization form to accept you along with your FAFSA. Have you done the FAFSA yet?
Yeah, I've applied for the financial aid, yes. I mean, federal aid, yep.
Yep. So once that's complete, once that's complete, and we accept you, our financial aid office will be able to submit your award letter to you. But the only 3 things you need to complete the enrollment process is your application, which you already have, your high school transcript, your immunization form, and the FAFSA. Those are the 3 things you want to make sure you complete. So the FAFSA, immunization, and your high school transcript.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? We want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We actually are ending about 20 minutes early because you guys are so dynamic and we answered all your questions. Feel free, if anything comes up, to definitely send us an email or give us a call so we can help you through the enrollment process. And we're looking forward to having you guys complete the rest of the steps so we can get you registered and enrolled within the next 2 weeks or so. There's no better feeling than going into Memorial Day knowing that you registered and you don't have to worry about anything about college. And that's our plan. So let us know if you have any questions and we'll be able to work with you through the process. Thank you all for coming out. Well, tuning in.
See you in September.
See you in
See you
September.
in September.
Hopefully see you guys soon.
Bye.